Final one for Anna. I hope so, at least. So weird to think about this. Because I didn't do any yesterday, and I've been doing them on every day for the last while, but didn't do it yesterday, didn't feel like it. Just did not feel like it. Oh, I've been looking at text all day. Ugh. What a weird situation. You can stay if you have 5 questions. This is the way you put that. I can't imagine someone being like that. Like, you should stay, but not you can. It's like, what kind of statement is that? Oh, you can stay, but you can leave, I guess. I might have questions, though. Like, why would someone be like, I want to stay, because I want to ask questions? Like, the more you get into this day, the more I'm like, wow, you really don't want to be near Anna. Like, you don't notice it too well in your first go, but then you're like, wow, the hell's her problem? I mean, sure, you got cancer, Anna, but at some point, you've been dealing with it for long enough that maybe you at least toned it down a bit. You know. Like, I understand having a bad relationship with someone who's blackmailing you, but that's not a reason to be that kind of aggressive. I mean, sure, there's, like, nothing against you in terms of evidence, but that doesn't mean that, you know. You know what I mean. Someone could pin it on you. All things considered, you got the perfect MO. Motive. I'm gonna send some motive on you. Not to mention Anna actually has very shit stats. She just has high intelligence, but that's it. She's not charismatic, she's not very wise, considering the dumb shit she's been pulling with most of her life. And the fact that she's not been able to avoid the police in conventional fashions. She probably has good dexterity, though. Not high I don't know. How would cancer affect your constitution? I mean, it's a funny thing when you start thinking about constitution. It's like, how would having a particular type of chronic disease affect it? Like, is it part of it or not? Like, can you have a high score but still have, like, a chronic disease or what? Especially in a magic world, cancer would be very strange. Because I'd imagine that in that kind of world, you could be very precise, or you could at least, like, tame it. You know, like, there's lots of people who do, like, there's specifically a fucking cancer mage. Like, what the hell? There's a specific mage you can become where you just have tumor inside of you. I'm surprised that made it into the official 3.5 material. But my point is, clearly they know what it is. I mean, it doesn't affect, like, the game statistics, but it's... Oh. How does she know? Like, I understand that Anna is, like, smart and all that, but why would she know about Damien's species muscle groups if she's mostly been focused on her own and, like, curing cancer? Like, to some extent, she has some really weird specific knowledge, but also non-specific knowledge. Like, I don't know how to use this machine, but I know what it does. But you know what his muscle groups are like. Instead of studying something you need. And the weirdest part is bringing up Damien in this circumstance. Like, he's dead! His stature was similar enough, he's dead. Just going back to work. Ugh. Oh, that's not what I thought that was at all. That's not how that works. Man, like, I understand why this is, like, 2 or 3 or more. Like, you have to have 3 or more. Because you are saying something that's really rude. I don't know a good translation for that. Like, Anna has so many lessons, but they're not really lessons. Like, what the fuck is wrong with her? Oh, man. Like, at first I didn't notice because I was like, ho 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 ho, she's just messing around. But no! She's legitimately just being really weird! So I'm gonna capture the rage by having her say the I said, but then say something else, because she's just like, no. No, not the video games. You know, this actually makes me feel like shit about saving Anna. Is she someone you'd want to save, though? Is Anna the kind of person that should stay alive, given the circumstances? Like, I'm not saying the cancer part. What I'm saying is that being said, like, the whole Reza thing. Like, should someone forgive this kind of person who's done things with, like, no regard? Like, she doesn't seem to understand the concept of morality. She's like, morality, ha ha. I can fuck with whoever I want. Like, would you want someone like that to just live outside of prison because they attacked someone once? Like, I'm not saying she shouldn't get cured of her problem. What I am saying is that, you know, she might need some more help. Like, how has this person been able to operate like this? Has she just been able to not flip often enough for people to be like, you need some help? I mean, I guess Remy, like, for a society that seems to be very much for rehabilitation and assistance, it's very interesting that multiple instances of mentally ill people who are not getting treated exist in the society. You got Anna fucking around, who clearly needs help with dealing with her cancer situation. You've got Remy, who's basically suicidal. You've got a Dean who's just like, no. You got Bryce, who's commissioner of police, who is a known alcoholic. Like, this system doesn't seem to give a shit about mentally ill people. About people who need help, or just someone to talk to. They just look past them. Because it's convenient, I guess. And then the fact that she's, like, super okay with in the other situation, like, this is, Oh, sure, it's a high-pressure job, Anna. Like, I understand stress can make you do silly things, and it makes some people act out in certain ways. But the way it's manifesting itself, and the fact that even on this very nice and calm day, she's basically been flipping every which direction she can. She's making excuses. Like, she even starts off with, I don't want to make excuses, but. Here's a fun fact. If someone ever says but in that kind of context, he's lying out his fucking ass. He's just like everything that, like, I just loved someone who told me this, who said, if someone ever says but, everything before the but is bullshit. I'm not racist, but, well, congratulations, you just admitted to being racist in a very covert way. Like, at least live up to your mistakes. Like, at least say, I'm going to make excuses anyway. Because that's what this says, is she pretends, oh, it's my job. No, it's not, Anna. You know it's not your job. Your job does not make you hunt people, or animals for that matter. oh, yeah, sure, you can't hang out with other people. Like, I don't know, your fucking staff, the individuals who are above you, your high-demanding job, which allows you to perform cancer research completely without their consent. I'm sure you got a high-pressure job if you have the space in a room to conduct private research that you keep pushing on. Like, I can understand she's under stress, but I don't think it's stress specifically from what's demanded of her, much less what she demands of herself. And that's a difference. And it's not even the kind of stuff where I'm like, I need to be perfect. I think it's beyond that. I think it's partially, I need to be able to cure this. I should be able to cure this. And part of it is, I just need to do this now. Like, oh, Anna, I've lost all my love for you. I love how I start off being like, I hate Lorem, and I'm like, well, Anna's the actual fucked up one. As is Remy, who very passive-aggressively pushes you to agree with him. Like, holy shit, these people are assholes. Which makes it all the more fun that Ophelia would essentially have that kind of rank. I can imagine that being the case. Like, towards the end, she's like, ah, man, I'm sorry. Like, just a straight-up sorry. No buts. No buts. Just like, I'm wrong, I'm an idiot, I'm an asshole. And that's it. And then your character can even be like, where's the butt? And he's like, there's no buts. Except on my ass. You know, like a straight-up, I'm sorry, I'm an asshole. No excuses. You know. Something that's sorely missing from certain circumstances, where people, like, even Remy doesn't seem to acknowledge that he's clearly being a dick himself. Like, he, aware or not, is channeling part of what Emira is doing, you know? Which is how bullies procreate, by the way. Which isn't pleasant. They're like a poison. They're a virus. I'm looking forward to this Saturday. We're gonna play Starfinder. Whee! I had to compile a whole list of, like, level 1 shit that people can buy so that their whole character setup is a bit easier. Like, imagine this. This research is unlikely to go anywhere. And she still does all this effort to get it set up. Why? What are the odds you're going to find a cure for cancer in this person? Like, what kind of desperation? Like, is it even stress? Is it just pure desperation? Like, it's not stress. It's not work pressure. It's just you're freaking out over the time limit. It's not work stress. It's just time pressure. Which I know is stress, but I'm trying to divide between distinctions of stress. You know, like, it's not the work. It's just the knowledge that you might not have tomorrow anymore. Fun fact, cancer is crap. I also don't like the term metastasis. I don't know, something about metastasis sounds like stasis, you know, like stuck in place. Metastasis, by the way, is a horrible situation. It means the cancer is no longer where it's supposed to be, and it has decided to just go to other parts of your body. Imagine you have a building, and in that building, you know the exact floor all the drug dealers are at. And you can take out the drug dealers. You can just go there, perform a raid, arrest everyone, bam. You got your thing done. You know exactly what you're looking for, what the drug dealers look like, because they live on the floor where everyone wears orange shirts. Y'all know they wear orange shirts. And that everyone who wears an orange shirt, there's a drug dealer. Now they're on other floors, where people wear orange shirts, but they don't drug deal. And suddenly you lose track of everything. Because, it also starts interesting, because if it's just in your finger, okay, now you got a big finger. Oh no, now it's in your lungs, and you can't breathe. That's not what your finger cells are supposed to be, or do. But they're doing it anyway. Cancer is terrible. Terrible, terrible thing. I wonder if there's an actual reason cancer started picking up, or if it's just people living longer. There's an entire possibility that human cancer rates have increased over time due to chemical additives. But I don't know. I don't know, like, what the historical... I mean, at the same time, people didn't know what cancer was, and it was like, he died of natural causes. No, he died of cancer, but we didn't know that at the time. Wah, 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 wah. And you can't really retroactively confirm if someone died of cancer or an actual natural cause, because medical knowledge wasn't advanced enough. So your statistics are limited to common era, which is super sad, because it means you can't prove much from, like, circumstances from before the modern era when it started being a relevant disease. Ain't that just sad? Like, skipping grades, the fast track at university, like, I know that's a thing. Like, I've seen kids who are like, I'm 4 years old, and I've been through university, and I'm teaching Einstein how to fucking flip a shit. Although Einstein wasn't very accepting of theory of relativity. Here's something fun. If you ever want to make a story of Einstein, don't do the part where he jumped out of school. Make a story about how he, like, wasn't accepting of quantum theory. Like, he was like, God does not play dice. Pick that. Make him human by being like, well, even Einstein wasn't willing to accept something that was too radical for him, you know? Like, that human trait. oh, that's a great story. Much better than the stupid, he flunked in school. He didn't flunk in school. He was the kind of kid who didn't give a shit because it was all too easy for him. He actually, I think he later just went and got his degree anyway, but elsewhere. So, it's not even true, in a technical sense. Now, I can understand, you know, elementary school and high school. University, not so much. Because, like, in university, you're very close with either A, people who do research, so you're going to be in high proximity to them afterwards, or B, they work in the same field as you, so you would naturally pick up with them. Like, I think Anna just never bothered. Like, at some point, she just couldn't do it to the degree she's like, okay, I just don't fucking give a shit. Which is terrible. Because it means that Anna may have just have had a better life if she didn't bother with the whole science thing. And they say getting a degree is good for you. Wah, 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 wah. And I like she had a friend who fucking had cancer. What are the odds, Anna? Tell me the fucking odds. I like to imagine she made this up just to tell you a sad story. You know? Because I think at this point you... Isn't this the point where you're like, Anna, I know about your cancer? No, that's 4, isn't it? Yeah, that's the 4th date. So at this point, you haven't told Anna that you know about her cancer, so it's entirely possible she just made this up. Like, she's seen people who have cancer. Like, she's met people that have cancer, because, you know, she's a doctor, she's probably seen someone, even as a pharmacist. She was probably told, like, this is what cancer people look like, this is how they act, and this is what their life is like, prescribe them these... Like, they'd have something, you know? Like, she'd probably be in contact, even by proxy, or by walking into a medical facility and being like, look at all these people with cancer. They are terrible. But I highly doubt she actually has a friend with cancer, because the odds are so astronomical. Oh yeah, degenerative disease, that's what's going on. I guess that would make it more likely, because I just freaked out over the cancer thing. Yeah, it was a degenerative disease. Which, again, is kind of shit. Like, holy shit. You know what's really... You know what's annoying? Getting a disease. You know what's worse? Your body is literally backstabbing you. It's not your own fault you got diabetes. Your body just decided, at this point, I'm going to give you diabetes. I don't give a shit if you're the healthiest man alive. You're going to have diabetes, and you're going to suffer every step of the way. No, I don't care if you're super athletic. At this point, your muscles are going to destroy themselves, and you will die being unable to breathe as you peer out your eyes and your lungs stop working. Holy shit, that's spooky. It's because it's not a disease like your body was made to do this. Your life was forfeit the day you were born. Because your body was like, I'm gonna fuck up. Man, genetics are spooky. I wonder how death feels. There's like a personification of how do they feel about genetics? Like they're looking like, holy shit, this kid's gonna die in like 2 weeks after birth after seeming perfectly healthy. What the fuck? I mean, it makes my job easy, but... I wonder if that would make their job any easier. It's like, okay, we're reaching the end point. I guess I should probably keep an eye on them. Man, depends on how their data structure work. How would death organize the concept of having to reap people? Now if I ever die and there is an afterlife, that's something I want to see. That's probably something I'd ask Def. Like, Def, what does it look like? How do you organize your stuff? Do you have to? Or does it all just happen automatically nowadays with computers? And Death is just like, I don't want computers. I'm too old for this shit. It's just so wiggly. Or maybe she, I don't know. Maybe Death is just a skeleton that's androgynous enough that you can be anything, and she's like, ah ha ha ha. Still though, I mean, although I guess if you skip through grades rapidly, you're very likely to encounter a larger quantity of people than otherwise. Still. It's interesting that she was 10 after skipping grades. Why would she make new friends? If you go to the next grade, you're probably going to be with the same fucking people. You're not going to be in a whole new grade of people. Like where I went to, you have the same elementary friends all the way from 1 to 8. And then you went to high school, and the same thing basically happened. Depending on your... Even then, the schedules didn't really pop in until later. So for a huge part, you could keep the same friends, especially since they usually went to the same high school, depending on their educational levels. Like, you would probably have one person that was with you from childhood. Here's one thing that bothers me a lot about this. If you know Anna has cancer, why aren't you bringing it up here? Like, this is the perfect setup for that. It's like you didn't do it alone. Well, I know about your cancer, Anna, and I know what the context of this is. What, did she exist, or did you just see someone at that point of your life? Like, it's much more likely if it was a family member, like, my grandfather has cancer. Fun fact, my grandfather had cancer. In the throat. He looked like shit at the end of his life. Holy shit, that was something to see. He was always such a jolly old man, and I was, ooh. My mother was with him at like, when he went to the hospital to get taken care of. Man! Holy shit. Just what the hell, man. Like, that was something else. And I only saw him once. I can't imagine seeing him, like, every single day, slowly slipping. Ooh. Then I'd be freaked out for a while. As a 10-year-old, that probably freaks you out. Actually, that might... No, I wasn't 10 back then. But close enough. Still, though, if you went to the same grade, I can't imagine being all that much older. But, what was I going back to? I don't know. Yeah, like, this is the perfect layup for, like, was it a family member, or what? It's much more likely it's a family member because, one, cancer can run in the family! Fun fact, the genetic disease is hereditary! Wah, 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 wah. I mean, sure, it can be environmental circumstances, but there's a good chance that if someone in your family has cancer, you might have cancer yourself. Wah, 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 wah. But, that aside, like... Like, why did it have to be someone else? Why couldn't it be a family member? It'd be much more potent of an experience of, like, my family member died. Someone I knew and loved for all my life. That, unlike this friend, like, she was a friend she just met once. I can, like, why would you be this attached to someone that you just met once in your life and was a friend with for less than a year? Like, if it was your mother, you'd be like, wow. Like, at that point, you're, like, fucked. Like, you mentally just go overboard. I can understand why you're like this. But if it's a friend you had for, like, less than a year, like the one friend, like, okay, fine, it's the one friend she had. I guess that does make it worse, but still, considering how much Anna seems to be able to distract herself from things, and the fact that you never get much of a clue about this person outside of this one conversation, probably not too attached. Man, you know what would suck ass? Is your family, if your family hid this from you, like they're like, oh, you're gonna die at age 10, but I'm not gonna tell you. I'm gonna let you live an old night. I'm like, no, don't do that. Don't. Like, that's the one thing you gotta be honest about. I don't care how many adoptions you've done. You gotta be honest with your kid about this. They have the right to know. They shouldn't just wake up and be like, why am I dying? No. Like, that's child abuse, man. If your kid does not know, like, what the fuck's wrong with you? Like, you shouldn't hide that. If only because it's very awkward that you're going to the doctor every single year. Like, oh, she's dying. Like, how are you going to hide that for that long? That's the question. I didn't go... how many doctor visits have I had? Like, at this point, a significant fraction of my doctor visits are that one time I went to bring a fucking... No, that was with a vet. I've only been to the vet like 3 times. And once was to bring a duck in, and they were like, this duck is gonna die, because he slipped and broke his arm on the fucking water. Damn, that was sad. It was like, we're gonna save him, and we didn't. Whew. Why didn't that experience stick with me? I guess I was just a little shit back then. Didn't care much. Man, this really is the sad hour in it, with me being a jerk at a lot of things I shouldn't be. genetic profiling. It's better than skull measuring, I'll give you that much. Okay, so she contracted a genetic... Like, how common are those with dragons? And is it really contracted? Because I don't know many... I guess it is like prehistoric era. And in the prehistoric era, things are funky. Like, some weird shit exists at that time. Primarily because diseases are just kind of fucking around and haven't quite figured out that killing the host is not a great way to procreate compared to, you know, just jumping from person to person. Like, there's a reason certain severe diseases are kind of floating out of existence. Because, you know, quarantine makes it so that those diseases can't procreate as effectively. So they either have to develop extreme defenses, in which case, not the better idea, or become contagious and destructive in other fashions. Wah 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 wah. Sorry, polio, but you had to wait until the anti-vaxxers came along to make your research. Whee! Who doesn't like polio? Apparently, most of the modern world except the anti-vaxxers. Wah 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 wah. I mean, even if it causes autism, is it worse that your child dies of polio or that he has autism? If you're picking the polio, I think you're not a decent human being. Because if you're going to kill someone because it might give them something that, you know, could possibly... I don't know. Do we have a cure for polio? Is there a way of curing polio? Like, the vaccines we give out, like, are there cures for those diseases? Or is vaccination the only real effective way of stopping it? Because if you can cure it, then I'm like, okay, fine, the medical bills are on you, but what a shit move. But if you're actively saying, I'd rather have my child fucking die than have him risk getting autism, like, Jesus Christ, woman. Whew. Whew. Like, what the hell? And it's... I don't know. Maybe it's also the dads. But I get the impression it's usually the mothers. Because it's usually the moms that are like about the kids, you know? And it's usually the moms with the traditionalist views which tend to be the moms in the family. Hey, Dad, I want to get a vaccination. Well, you can't do that, son. Your mother doesn't like those. And she's just slurping down vaccinations herself. She's like, I want to get welfare for being an autistic. Like, you gotta imagine that as well, right? Like, eventually that's going to be a benefit to have an autistic kid. It's like, oh, you get welfare for having one, so that you can pay for certain medical... It's like, wow, I'm going to get those vaccines every day of the week. And then it doesn't happen, and they're like, well, guess those other 3 dead children were for nothing. Wah, 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 wah. This video is just hot garbage. And I've gotten nowhere. Now, I don't know the term for degenerative disease. Also, why is this coming up now? Like, you talk about, don't you have friends, like, who tell you not to be an asshole? And it's like, let's talk about the one friend I had. What is this story? Is it like, oh no, this is why I don't want to have friends because I'm afraid I'll lose them? Anna, you lost that friend already, and you just kind of, your parents force you to go back. Like, that's the thing that gets me, is the story doesn't really accumulate too much other than that she's like, I don't want to die from something that will slowly kill me. If someone's gonna kill me, just shoot me in the brain, is what she's saying. I like to imagine that this is part of the reason why she does what she does with Reza. She's like, Reza, just fucking kill me already. Do you want to marry someone like that? Would you want to marry someone who, for, like, a large portion of her life has been like, I want to die, and does stupid shit to die? Like, I think she'd want to get shot by the farmer. Like, Remy is suicidal in his own way. Anna's suicidal because she doesn't want to face the truth. I mean, I wouldn't. I'd find that super scary. I don't know if I could. I don't know if I have that kind of courage. I mean, it's easy to say you do, but you don't know if you do. Because that's a very serious situation. But I think Anna's taking it a little bit off the deep end, you know. Also, I think euthanasia was made illegal again, or something like that. Like, there was recently, yesterday or something. Like, a whole thing about, oh no, we don't want people euthanized. I was say euthanasia, but it's euthanized. I don't even know anymore. Euthanasia just sounds so stupid. Because what does it have to do with Asia? Yeah, like, the way she puts it is like, Anna, I think you don't have friends because you're just an unstable, emotionally destructive asshole. Like, wow! Like, again, yeah, he wasn't my grandfather the way I knew him, but he was still my fucking grandfather. He called me his grandson. I can't take that away from him. I can't be like, you're not my grandfather because you're not as energetic. Like, that's not how that works, Anna. And if you're gonna pretend it is, like, that's harsh. Like, that's a step too far. Because it's fine if it goes one way. It's not fine if you force it to go the other way. You know? Like, you can have that opinion, but you can't say it to someone, because that's rude. They're about to die, and you're about to ruin it just because you're like, I don't want to be. There's one more thing, though! Why did her parents bring her here? Because, again, put this in context. The only reason Anna's here is because her parents were like, hey, let's go over here and go see your girlfriend. She's in the hospital. Quick thing. If you're bringing your child to see someone as a friend, and they're in the hospital, at least make sure it's something you want to expose your child to. Oh, let's put on Jazzy. Maybe that'll calm me down a bit. Or maybe it'll make me as sassy as her. There we go. Also, look at ever established when Anna exactly gets cancer. Like, when exactly does this happen? Was it before or after she started doing illegal studies? Or did that kind of overlap at some point? Maybe this just amplified how she felt about things. You know, like she had this memory and she's like, I'm gonna be like that. And then was like, nah! You know, like in like a shitty like cartoon, it's like, I have the power twice because I combined my emotions into one big emotion. But she's not! I highly doubt at that point. Like, was she alone? She probably still has her parents at that point, right? I don't know how long dragon parents live afterwards. Like, that's the funny part, is their actual life cycle's never established. You think, like, Bryce would have his, like, Jung is his parents around for, like, a good period of time, at least. But a lot of people don't seem to have their parents around. Like, Katsuharu seems to give the impression that clearly dragons have signs of aging. Like, where the fuck is everyone's parents? Like, Anna's parents should be, at least in some regard, be like, listen, I know you're hanging out with my daughter, don't, you're gonna kill yourself. Like, something like that. Or maybe with Adine, like, where are Adine's parents when she's in such a shit situation? Are they unwilling to share, or is Adine an adoptee herself? Establish those things. Because it's so weird that these people need their parents, but they're nowhere to be seen. Like, what the fuck? Like, Remy, why doesn't he have parents to talk to? Like, what happened to everyone's parents? What is this strange, parentless world? Is there anyone whose parents are ever established? Like, the only thing I can imagine is Emily. Emily's the only person whose parents are established, which is Anna, the lady, and Remy. But even then, it's like barely parenting. Like, what? Who? Ugh. I know the title for this video. Parentless hell. Parentless dimension. Because something like that. Because what the heck? I don't think she's much of a scientist, considering that her methods are very non-scientific in some senses. Which isn't true, because you've only got 1 degree, and clearly people don't like your research methods. Also, you're not a scientist if you don't peer review. Like, a big part of science is collaborating and corroborating results. And if you're going to do private, illicit research, not very scientific. I mean, sure, it could be in the scientific method, but if you're not going to peer review or collaborate your results, nah, I don't think it counts. I highly doubt anything of major significance is going to come out of this, other than dragon-human genetic relationships. What weather, man. Oh, it was so nice in the morning. Yeah, it's kind of interesting how stable the human evolutionary line is. You have the PDAs, right? Like, I'm pretty sure there'd probably be something about human genetics in there. That being said, yeah, you can actually usually find, like, cures for diseases in other animals that have been exposed to that disease long enough to develop their own immune systems to it, which is kind of funky when you think about it. Whew. So, fundamental research and practical research, I like this. And in science, you never know if fundamental research becomes practical research. Because fundamental is, I just want to know shit. Fundamental research is, I just want to see if this is true. There's no point to it. It might not serve any purpose. And practical research is, I want to know X because of Y. Like, practical research is, do people want to buy the iPhone 7? And fundamental research is, can I make a processor that's smaller than X? No, that's still practical research. Like, fundamental research will be something like, how do gravitons respond to accelerated light speeds or something like that? Like, how would they respond? It's not going to help anyone! Like, you don't know if someone's going to need that, but you're curious. And that's the thing, is I guess practical research could be done. No, the way it works is, fundamental research doesn't have a goal. It doesn't answer anything but curiosity. And practical research has a goal. But the curiosity is minor. It's like you just want to know something to do something with it. And it's kind of weird that Anna doesn't use any terms in that direction. Again, Anna doesn't seem to know anything about science, like a liar would. I've just been such an ass to Anna. But all things considered, she's not really deserving of anything else, is she? And I don't care, like, if someone at this point is like, I'm gonna play the cancer card. Nope. Like, there's a point where you can play the cancer card, and that's not now. In general, I don't think you should. Like, you're doing a very big disservice to people who need help and assistance. I'm going to turn down this music because it makes me louder. You do a big disservice to people if you use something that you suffer from as a card. Like, if you're in a wheelchair and you get to go first on the Disneyland ride, whee! You get to go first on the Disneyland ride because they're trying to be nice. But you don't get to walk up to someone and say, I go first because I'm in a wheelchair. It's not how that works. If someone gives you something, that's not a right. That's something they do out of niceness. They think that to you, it's nice to do. But someone can say no, and there's nothing you can do to them. Maybe you can sue them, but that's a dick move. Unless it's like a valid purpose. It's like, you need to get the wheelchair people out first because they'll probably die in a fire if you don't. Like, fine, I can understand that. But if your motivation is, I'm in a wheelchair, I should get to park first. Okay, priority wheelchair parking does exist. I know that. Just pick the worst example. Okay. Let's take something a little bit different. Wheelchair accessibility in general is like a big part of the legislation. Whew, you'd be surprised like how many things there are. I like that extra credits video where they're like, oh, this is like curb cuts are like beneficial to other people like skaters because now they can skate easily and safely. But yeah, like if you do something and the only reason it is I'm in a wheelchair, I'm inconvenienced in other areas of my life, so I want convenience in these areas, where the only convenience I'm getting is not like a practical convenience, it's just an emotional convenience. Like, it doesn't make your life as a wheelchair person any easier, it just makes your life as a person easier. Like, it doesn't help with the specific problem you're having. Like, getting to cut in line, like, that's just a nicety, you know? Like, no one's obliged to do it, but they do it because, it's, you know, it's like, come on. Like, the other people, they got legs. They can walk back any day of the week. For you, it'd be sad. Not to mention, wheelchair takes up a lot of space on the station. Like, how to put this? Like, say you walk into a Starbucks, and you want to go first just because you're in a wheelchair? No. Like, waiting in line in that context is like, for one, incidental. Like, I understand with, like, a theme park because there's only so much time and you don't want someone who's already pretty much, like, probably have to do a lot to get there. Because someone in Newstar probably isn't rich and can't go to Disneyland every day of the year because he has extra expenses or just can't get the same kind of job as other people can because he's inconvenienced. But if you're going to a Starbucks, like, come on, man. Like, what is your excuse? That you have to wait 5 more minutes for a Frappuccino? I don't think you should get a Frappuccino in that regard. I don't know. You know, the funny thing is if you're missing legs, like legs are a huge part of your biomass, people actually have to keep track on whether or not you have legs if they're administering drugs, because if you don't have your legs, or like an arm or something, or are missing major parts of your body, fun fact, it's entirely possible that someone overdrugs you because they don't keep track of your biomass. A lot of drugs you get way more of than you need because it spreads around your body instead of going to the place it needs to. I like that about police knots. It's like this is direct drug administration, and it's really useful because then we get to use less drugs more effectively. Whee! Why did it? Oh man, this video's a mess. Oh. What is this about? Like, Anna, you do know how scientific research papers are credited, right? You know, when you're credited, it means you did shit. There's an extra, like, thing section that's like, okay, she helped with this, this, and this. She's in there, and, like, the special thanks section. But if you want your fucking name on something, you don't have time to do private research. I'm pretty sure most people in this building do not credit you with anything but, like, Anna for making extra space when there wasn't otherwise. You know? Like you did a little bit of extra good, but that's all you're gonna get. Like, you're not supposed to credit anyone that isn't like a major investigator of a science paper. Like, your name is not gonna be on many papers, Anna. Like, the way she puts it is like, my name is on it, like in big letters. You're not gonna be there. You're not gonna fucking be there. It takes a lot to get on that point. Like, you need to be a major collaborator to get there. Or, like, I guess technically any collaborator could be on if you're not gonna be nice. But in general, if anyone, like, here's the thing. You usually don't just jump into a research project. That's just not something you do. Because one thing about research is there's pre-research, where you learn everything. If you want to do research about hospital processes, you need to learn everything about hospital processes. And my research teacher said, the standard is, if you're at a party and someone who does hospital processes, if you can talk to him casually and not look like a complete idiot, that's the standard you're going for. You can't just jump into research. You need to know all the pre-research they've done. They have all these reference materials we've got to look through. They're already probably looking through existing materials, and they're setting up projects. Pointing out a couple of things, no. Like, you're not going to be in many papers, Anna. You're already doing private research. You're staying hours late to do private research. I highly doubt that, and as building administrator, your names are going to be in many papers as a contributor of sorts, beyond the special thanks section. By the way, don't put your parents' name in the special thanks section. It's not meant for that. And, again, the reason she's doing it is for a legacy. She doesn't care about anything other than just leaving a mark. Like, she wants people to feel shit about her dying, I guess. Because, fun fact, if someone is, like, particularly vindictive, one thing they can do is they just start doing shit. Like, they just make a legacy so that everyone's like, man, I feel really shit about not being nice to that guy because he died of something. You know, it's like she's trying to be vindictive from the grave. And now she's sad that the day's over. This video's a mess. Ah! Oh man, someone's gonna be pissed. I forgot about those answers. Well, this one's short. Think about this. Why aren't you being flirty with Anna? Like, you're being flirty, but not as much as I feel you would be. Like, there's not, like, the shitty answers you have with Remy, where you're essentially sexually harassing him. It's kind of weird. I think the more I think about it, the more I realize that some of these characters start derailing in strange ways towards the end. How did I not know? Like, because I'm not into it. Because I'm not, like, digging into the code. And I'm like, And I'm not paying attention to how they look because I was more busy with the text. But looking at this from this perspective, I'm like, what the hell's going on with some of these people? Like, Lorm. I miss you, Lorm. At least you're a normal person who just babbles on about things. Where are you, Lorm? My beacon of hope in the sea of awkward people. Don't we just... I think I already did Bryce. Yeah, Bryce was just a nice little date. Although he went kind of weird towards the end. Only got Adine left. Let's see if Adine's date's any good. Good beans or good Adines. Why, thanks for having me! You literally came over because of a bet. There's no thanks for having me here. You dip. So, I decided to change a bit. It was nice together. She's like, maybe we should meet again. Because something that gets me about this is it just doesn't. Something about it doesn't flow as well as it should. It feels a bit more cruxy. Like, I understand that it's kind of awkward to end a date on neutral terms after what just happened, but whatever. Huh. Just heard my, so I have an alarm that's set for, like, 2:45, so that I can wake up in the middle of the night, and it helps with dream recollection. I had a weird dream tonight. For some reason, I was having a ticket to go to home, but I was already home, and I was like, I'm gonna go home, and I'm like, wait, I'm already home! What the fuck kind of dream is that? But, the thing goes a little spring, bling, bling, whenever it moves past the alarm point, even if the alarm isn't set. So I'm like, it sprung. So this is when it actually goes off. Because it's an analog clock, you know, it twirls around. It's pretty cheap too, but it works. What a weird situation. Like, with everything I've said, I think that calling this the Parentless Dimension is pretty much the nicest title I could give it that doesn't involve me shitting on myself. Also, Sheeta still looks sad through this. Here's the thing. I like you mentioned at this point, you're sitting on the table, you're sort of lying down with your hands on your head and like, you want to go date? You know, you're like, fucking Valley Girl. I've been looking into people playing Fear. Fear's not the game I remember being. Why do you say okay instead of something like cool? What a weird... Like another... I guess this one's better than the other one. Like, the other dates have kind of been this bloop. It ends. Next time, it's a D&3 where you go to the beach. But if you go to the beach, could you go to video games? Why do I like saying video games? I just like saying video games, the movie. What are these? Chapter 11. Wait, what the hell is chapter... What is this? Oh, I know what these are. These are tests, aren't they? Are they a similar file size? Yeah, I guess these are all like tests. Report for overgrowth. Oh, because I cheat. Wah 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 wah. I'm not gonna edit that out. You deserve to know, because I don't like bookkeeping. But now I've been figured out. I must slay thee with a gun that goes bang! Pew 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 pew! I told you I was a liar!